How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I appreciate everybody that takes time every day to watch my videos. And also, I want to thank the over 2,000 new subscribers that have subscribed to the channel in less than a week. And if you've been watching for a while, or this is the first time you've watched any of my videos, and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Join the almost 65,000 strong supporters of the channel. During the Biden administration, Joe Biden had the ATF go after FFLs. And I could see if they were going after bad FFLs that didn't run background checks or didn't fill out any paperwork. But they went after FFLs that just had minor paperwork errors. It's always been in the past that when FFLs got a visit from the ATF, and after the visit, they find out that they had a handful of paperwork errors. Maybe somebody didn't sign the paperwork, or they made a mistake writing down the serial number of the firearm. And they would just get some type of a verbal warning. And sometimes it would be like a teaching moment, giving them suggestions on how to put a stop to that. But then the Biden administration started the zero tolerance rule when it came to FFLs. So then when there was a visit to an FFL, if they had one minor paperwork error, a lot of times they closed down that business. Before Joe Biden took office, the average number of FFLs revoked in a year is around 40. But after Joe Biden's ATF announced the zero tolerance rule, in a little bit less than 1 year's time, they revoked 273 licenses of FFLs. And that's an increase of 500%, which is absolutely ridiculous. And what it was is just another form of gun control. Everybody knows that. And it just so happens just before Joe Biden left office and Donald Trump took office, the ATF all of a sudden announced they were dropping the zero tolerance policy. And once that was announced, and people found out about it, then they just forgot about it. But one Republican representative in Congress has introduced a bill to make sure that the ATF can never do that again. Because even though we would like to have a Republican president forever, of course that's not going to happen. So we could get a bill passed, Donald Trump could sign it, that would stop the ATF from doing this again. So Kansas Congressman Tracy Mann introduced a bill called Reining in Federal Licensing Enforcement, also known as RIFLE. And the bill would ensure that the ATF works with FFLs, giving FFLs a chance to comply before ATF moves to revoke their license, and also to clearly define and strengthen what constitutes a willful violation, imposing a presumption that there is no willful violation absent clear and convincing evidence. Also allow FFLs to review and appeal ATF determinations before an administrative law judge, and reimburse FFLs for legal fees incurred while the zero tolerance policy was in effect. Automatically reinstate and approve licenses suspended, revoked, or denied while ATF's zero tolerance policy was in effect. And establish gunrightsrestored.gov to administer reimbursement claims. And in a press release, ripped Joe Biden and his administration a new one. And here's what he had to say. Biden did everything in his power to weaponize the federal government against gun store owners in the big 1st District of Kansas and across the country. His zero tolerance policy undermined the Second Amendment and trampled on the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. Since day one, I have rigorously pushed back against his unconstitutional policy and fought for more oversight to rein in ATF's abuse. On November 5th, 2024, the country made it clear our constitutional rights are not up for grab. My bill makes it crystal clear. By fortifying the Second Amendment rights of local gun stores and seeking to restore a degree of holiness to individuals whose livelihoods were destroyed by this federal abuse, I look forward to working with President Trump to further strengthen the protection of the Second Amendment, deliver justice for our FFLs, and get our country back on track. I don't know about you guys, but I really like this congressman. Congressman Mann's Rifle Act already has a lot of co-sponsors, as well as support from a handful of Second Amendment rights groups. And like I said, there's a real need for this bill. But it's not if, but when we will have another anti-gun president. And of course we need this to protect the law-abiding FFLs that just once in a while might have a handful of minor paperwork errors. And there's no reason for that to take away the livelihood of the people that own that shop and work in that shop. And like I said, just because a handful of minor paperwork errors. But we need to make sure that the law-abiding FFLs are protected from the ATF and also protected from an anti-gun president. And I hope when it's said and done, and this bill does get passed and is signed into law, that the FFLs that had their licenses revoked just for minor paperwork errors get their licenses back. And I know most of you out there have your favorite gun shop to go to, and they've most likely been around for a long time. And we need to have those law-abiding gun shops in place so we can buy a new firearm if we wanted to, or buy some ammunition, or get some advice on a new build, or just going in and shoot the shit. These FFLs are vital and they need to be protected. I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel, as well as the new subscribers that came aboard. And I invite all of you to come back and watch my next video.